So after this pretest, we're gonna get into what we're gonna talk about. Animation. So please, do you guys like animation?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is, right? It's on TV shows, right? So I have to get that. Animation. What's the difference between animation and cartooning? Is there a difference? Yes. Good. Good point. Okay, let's get into it. So, the definition of animation. Animation from this word is from Latin word term anima. Anyone want to guess what that means in their language? Close but not quite. Anyone? No? Okay. Anima means soul. Isn't that cool? I mean, it means soul. It's not related to any like animation or anything like that. Okay. Animate means giving life. Does that make sense now? Giving this character a soul, make it move, make it come alive. That's animation about. That's animate. Right? Okay, next slide, please. Okay, have you guys seen these characters before?
Yes.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah, me too.
Okay, do you think these... Wait.
More?
Oh no, go back a little. Oh, okay. Do you think these are animations?
Not right now.
Not right now, right? But can they be?
Yes.
By how?
Artists.
Excuse me?
Artists.
Artists? Anyone? Yes? What?
Stop motion.
Yes, that's a good point. We're going to talk about stop motion animation shortly. Okay. So, okay. Only if these characters can move. If they can move, they can become an animation, right? So see, this is an artist. He's making this move, you know. Do we need wires like puppies to make it move? Do you think? Not really. We're going to tell you about it. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, the different kinds of animation. There's tons, right? Can you tell? Just by, you know, how it's made a little. Okay. The first one we're going to talk about is traditional. So the traditional animation is all about hand drawing and efforts. You take a piece of paper, you start drawing. It's a character, right? But you have to draw thousands of it. Just make it move, you know, try to make it move. Does that make sense? It's traditional. We don't have computer. We don't have anything else. Just trying to capture the image one by one. Okay, the second one is stop motion. We talk about that. The puppets, right? Stop motion. It's about, it can include puppet, clay, all kinds of, you know, a thing. It's not, you know, a picture. It's three-dimensional. It's right there. It's an object. But we make it move. But without wires. How? How we move it without wires?
Multiple pictures.
Yes, exactly. We take so many pictures. Each one of them, we move it a little bit. Then we show all the pictures one by one. Then we will show the motion, right? Okay, that's stop motion animation right there. Okay, next one. Computer animation. Today, computer animation is in animation, you know, this area for like taking 80%. You know, all the animation today, they're using computers because it's easier. You know, how can you imagine that? Like you have an image scanned into the computer and you scan thousands of them. You do it without the like hardware, you know, like, you know, the taking pictures. No, you just scan it into computer and you're just using Photoshop. Have you guys heard Photoshop before?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you can change by computer, right? Editing. So that's easier. You don't have to draw another one. You can just take this arm off and move it up a little bit, you know, put it on. That's a new image. right? That's easier, so that's why. And another one is because we're using so many special effects in an animation right now. And even in the film production too, if you know what I'm saying. Do you know special effects is?
Yeah.
Okay, like explosion, right? Like flying planes crash a school. There's no actual crashing. They're not shooting an actual plane crashing the school. Yeah. Okay. Next one is films with live action
Oh, Space
and
Jam.
animation. Oh, Space Jam. You watched
Love
that?
that movie.
You watched that.
Mhm.
Anyone else? Okay, let's show the picture. Space Jam. You guys know Michael Jordan?
Yes.
He's the idol of, my era, I think. I mean, he was my idol. So he had this, he participate this animation. He's, doing all kinds of movement by himself, but he also had these cartoon characters moving with them. So it's combined live action and computer. So that's the fourth kind, which is become popular. Okay, so go back one a little. So the history of animation. People start to think about and depict moving image. How many years ago?
35,000.
Can you imagine how long is that?
Yeah.
You can?
Pretty long.
30,000, 35,000 years ago. I mean, people just barely get their food on the plate, They still live in the cave in that time. So cave paintings in France, there's a picture that show you that. Can you tell there's something wrong with this cow, this buffalo?
Yeah.
What?
It's two-dimensional still.
Not really. Okay, look carefully. What's difference between this buffalo and other buffaloes?
The legs.
The legs. Exactly. There's too many of them, right? There's how many? Like 3, 4 of them. Why is that? People can see, can tell, can even depict a buffalo. I mean, look, it has 2 horns, 1 head, but 8 legs.
They try to show movement.
Yes, they're trying to depict the movement of the buffalo. It's moving, and people saying, "Hey, can I put it on the, my drawing, my painting?" So next slide, please. Okay, next. This guy, he's a Chinese. His name is Ding Huan. He lived in Han Dynasty. It's about 200 BC and 200 AD, between that period. Okay, so he invented this thing called Joytrol in 180 AD. So this thing, would you please show the image? Okay, look like this.
Oh.
It can show movement. He can move the horses and let it move. Because I don't know what he was working out. Maybe he was a scientist or something. He's just trying to make the play a little bit more interesting. Okay, will you please click the short video? Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how this thing works. Double click.
And one way of animating pictures is with the zoetrope. And check it out. Here's one right here. And it's got a little thing that makes it turn. And then there's a little, probably cardboard thing, little slots. And inside you can see there are pictures. And when we have it spin, you can see that the pictures are moving around. And it doesn't really look like much until you look through the little slots. And now we've got a bunch of birds flying.
Okay, this thing is called Joytrol. He doesn't know what he invented. What's the theory behind it? Why the image can show movements by just rolling. So it's called persistence of vision. So it's a theory founded by Western scientists. When people's eye have seen something, the image won't disappear in 0.34 seconds. So when you see something flushed, it won't disappear in this short period. So 1 second has 24 frames. So if you show 24 pictures in 1 second, one by one, then you will see a moving image. So that's the most comfortable status for people's eye. Okay? Next. Okay. More than animation. That was a century ago. It's 2,000 years already. So what do we have now?
Slide or video?
No, the slide. Okay, who's the father of animated cartoon? Well, guys, guess, yes? Walt Disney? Okay, anyone else? Yeah, I would think it's him too, because he's so popular and he has the Disney World. Actually, it's not him. It's Emile Cole. He's a French person. He's a next. He's a French scientist teacher. Let me show you his picture. He doesn't look like a science teacher, don't you think? He looks like an artist or some, But he invented this thing. He's not even an artist. He invented things by science. Okay, okay, go back a little. Show the very first animated cartoon created by him.
The video?
Yes. Double click. There's no sound at all. At that time, people don't know how to add sounds. Remember the traditional animation I was talking about? It's all hand drawing. So you see, it was on a black frame. It's a black paper. So you draw things, use white pens. You draw one by one. Just make it move like that. And there's no sound at all. So when he first showed this in France, people got interested because no one had ever invented this before. Do you know what that means? Like the first computer has came out, people think, wow, what is that thing? This looks fun, and maybe we can do more about it, make it more interesting and more popular, show it to the public. But this thing, public won't watch because it's kind of boring. Okay, escape, exit. Okay, so who is Walt Disney then? What he invented make him such a big character in the history? Mickey Mouse?
Steamboat Willie was actually the first.
Which one?
Steamboat Willie?
Not quite. Okay, go to the next slide. Next. Okay, new era. The Disney World. In 1937, Disney created the first sound and color animated feature film called Snow White. So that's the first complete combined with sound and combined with sound and color. It has them all. So that's not the first color, but next slide. Next. This is a original poster for the Snow White. 60 years, 70 years ago. Okay, next slide. Okay, how to make an animation? Is it too hard that we can't make by our own? You're shaking your hands. Why? Why? Animator?
It's not hard, but it requires practice.
It requires practice, true. And it also takes lots of efforts. Not one-man job. It's a teamwork. It takes a lot. Okay, first, what do we need? We need a story first, right? Like Snow White. It has to have a story. So that's from a popular children novel, right? Snow White. Okay, then, oh, go back. Okay, then the next one is design elements. You need to design what Snow White looked like, right? The outfit and the looking. Do you want Snow White to become a like Asian girl, or a black girl, or just design, and not just the character. It's also about the music in the video, all the elements, like the deer, everything. Okay, third is final stage. It's final stage. What's the final stage then? It's editing. You shoot them all. You have all the pictures. You add the sounds. You add the voice, right? You have to make it live. Remember the soul thing? Okay, next please. So we're going to talk about colors. It's in the design frame. Okay? When you design Snow White, do you want his clothes all in dark? Like all in black? No, I don't want to do that. So, do you guys know anything about color series? Like the meaning behind colors? I know you guys already know about the color scheme. So, what about the meanings about the colors? Do you guys know a little? I see a few of you wearing red. Do you know what that stands for?
What?
Okay, let's check out what red means. Okay, the red, click, yeah, means energy, war, danger, strength, power. Because it's the color of blood, so it stands for, like power, energy, right? Anyone want to take a guess of the orange? What's orange means? What can you see in what's color of orange?
So warning.
Warming, right?
Yeah.
It's a warm color. It is. Let's see. It stands for happiness, creativity, enthusiasm. It's true. It's a warm color. It's positive. It's happiness. It's happy. So when you see someone wearing an orange shirt, what stands for? He probably had a really good morning. Then he picked that shirt. Does that make sense? Maybe. I don't know. As people have favorite colors. I used to wear orange all the time. Okay, next slide. No, yeah. Okay, the yellow. It means joy, happiness, intelligence. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's like gold color. Not really, but close. Like sun. It's high above. It's like that color. It's a light color. Okay. What about green? Green means growth. It's earth color, right? All the plants are green. So when you see a green color, automatically you think, wow, this is harmony. This is like
Jaden, what are you
peace,
supposed to be doing?
right? Okay.
Put your phone away.
What about blue? I like blue a lot, actually. What's blue stands for? Excuse me? What ability? Depth? Wow. Oh, yeah. The color of ocean, right? The ocean is so huge, and you can tell how deep it is. So that's the color of blue. What about purple? Let's go with purple. Royalty. Anyone watch NBA games? Do you guys know Lakers? Okay, so if you're a Laker fan, you would know the color of the Laker is purple and yellow, right? So both royalty and happy, intelligent, right? Okay, next. What about black and white? Are those colors? They're not, right? They're tones. So they also have meanings. What's white?
Purity.
Purity, exactly. Light color, innocent, purity, virginity, right? It's when you wear a white shirt, you can't tell he wearing the wrong color shirt because there's no wrong about it, right? Okay, what about black? A man in black. Power, for sure. What else? This Utah State University lady. What about black? You wearing a black.
Yes.
So, do you know what that stands for?
That power,
Are you reading it?
elegance.
Yeah, black is like a dark color. It means like powerful too. It's also danger.
It's ominous.
What?
It's ominous.
Ominous. Nice. Okay, next slide, please. Next. Okay, what do you think about this Spider-Man? He's in black. Dark and evil, right? You can tell. That's why we can dry Snow White in black, right? Remember the design phrase? Okay, next slide. What about this one? What about this spider? See the color of red and blue, and the background is warm color, orange and yellow. The whole picture is showing the warm, right? Show him as a positive actor. He's a good person. Okay, next. It's just a few pictures. How about this one? The Spider-Man in a dark environment. His life may be in danger, right? Okay, next one. Black and white is the contrast. Okay, the last. Okay, so we like this kind of Spider-Man. That's why we give him this color, right? Because he's a good guy, he's a superhero, and he saves lives. He's powerful, and also he's warm. Excuse me? Okay, next. So today, we're gonna let you guys choose the color you want to give to the character. Isn't that cool? You're gonna give your character personalities. I have these handouts. I want to pass them around, and you can get one. No, it's okay.
Can I help you?
Okay. So I have these characters. It's already designed, but without color. You guys can choose the color you want for them. Do not just have characters, also have cars, also have environments, okay? So when you choose a color, you will think about the meanings behind it, right? You'll think, why you want to choose this color? What's this color stands for? Why? Think about it. Then after you guys coloring, the fun part is we're gonna make up a story. How fun is that? We're gonna came up with stories with these characters and items. Okay? So these are some examples. It's all the same characters. You can tell, but different coloring. Okay, how about this one? Students. In the middle, the second line. What do you think? It's in dark. Power, right? It doesn't look like a bad guy, but maybe he was used by some bad guys. He was changed, maybe. What about, okay, let's see. What about this one? He's carrying a gold hammer. What about this one? Happiness. And power also. These are reds, right? That's really good. Okay, you guys will have about 30 minutes to finish your coloring. Okay, now we finish coloring the pictures. What we're gonna do is I will ask you guys come to the front, take a look all the pictures we have colored. Think about it, get it in mind. Then we will assign you in groups. Then you will discuss. You'll have 5 minutes to discuss and come up with a storyline, a story for the animation. You're gonna use the characteristics of each character. There's a lot actually. At least you need to choose 10 of them, okay, to make a story. The relationship between the characters and what they, job, what's their position, what do they do for a living. Maybe they are bad, like evil scientists, try to destroy the world. I don't want to give you a story, so you guys can come up with original story. So now after we present our story, now we need to do the post test. Please use the same paper. Just write down the answer below the answer you have asked at the beginning, okay?
Congratulations, Will Benson.
It's the same question. Just trying to see, if you have any more questions on this lecturing. Just trying to see how many you have learned. And you need to write down your names on the paper. You have to turn in this post-test and pre-test at the end of the course. You guys have 3 minutes to finish it, okay?